Good morning and happy Wednesday. Neil Hansen here, and I want to present a little exercise that I think might help you if you're struggling to make some changes. Chances are you have some old behaviors that might be getting in the way. So the goal of this is to present a little internal investigation to see why you're doing what you're doing and to get a broader understanding. And in doing so, free you up so you can move forward. This is a really powerful exercise, and I encourage you to do this with your eyes closed, sitting in a quiet place. And if you need to pause the video at certain times, please do so, as I want you to really kind of embrace the questions. And you can do this for yourself. Just watch this, remember it later, and do this for yourself. But I think it's helpful so you don't get distracted to have somebody ask you these questions. And then whenever you get your answer, go ahead and press play, and the next question will be presented to you. So. And of course, if you get something before the video is done and before the questions are done, by all means, that's your answer. That's what you need. I'm just going to do this over and over again in order to kind of help those who need to hear it multiple times. So I want you to consider that the majority of the things that you have in your life that aren't working are because you have old models and old operating manuals that are running, old belief patterns and things that are working, or maybe they worked at one point but they're not working now. So I want you to think of a behavior, something that you do, maybe it's a belief, something that you do that is affecting you in getting what it is that you want, whether it's for your health or your body or somewhere else in your life. And I want you to do this with your eyes closed. And I want you to think about how this is affecting you. What's the full operating procedure? What do you do? How do you do it? And I want you to see where it affects your life and how it stops you from doing whatever it is that you want to do, or experiencing what you want to experience, or accomplishing what you want to accomplish. I want you to fully get present to that. See its effect on your life. Now I want you to imagine the future without that. What would be possible if you didn't have this behavior, this belief, this operational procedure? What would your life be like if you didn't have that? Now I want you to think about how this might be helping you in your life. Consider that this was something that really worked well for you. This was a decision that you made to operate with this behavior or belief, and that might have really saved your butt at some point. It might be helping you to save face. It might have helped you to protect you from some danger. It might keep you from entering into a vulnerable scenario. So consider that what you're believing and how you're behaving have served you well. And I want you to consider that you are free. You're free to think whatever you want. You're a free human being, and you're perfectly fine the way that you are. And you can continue doing this behavior or have this belief and be okay. People will still love you. Life will still go on. And you could do this for the rest of your life, operating with this thing and be completely fine. But why? I want you to really consider that. Why would you? Take a minute, pause the video if you need to, and I want you to think about why. But why would you? So hopefully you've gotten an answer from that. And I want you to consider whatever come up, your reason for why you would do that, why you would continue with that behavior, that belief, why you would operate from that standpoint. I want you to consider that you are free to choose that as well. That is a perfectly great place for you to operate from, and you can continue doing that for the rest of your life, and you will be fine. But I want to ask, why? Why would you continue operating from that space, with that belief, with that thought process? Whatever came up for you, why? Take a minute to think about that. Pause the video if you need to. Now I want you to consider that you are free to choose that thought, and that you can operate from that space just fine, and you will be okay for the rest of your life operating under that understanding and that belief and those pretenses. But why? Ask yourself again, whatever answer you just came up with. Maybe it was something that you don't have a choice with. Maybe it's like, this is just the way the world is. That's just the way it is. I want you to consider, but why would you? Why would you continue operating with that belief, that idea, that thought, that operating procedure? Take a moment to think about that. Now I want you to consider that you are doing just fine with that belief. It's gotten you to this point. It has done everything it needed to do to help you survive, and you will continue surviving the exact same way. You've made it this far, you can make it further with that belief. But I want you to consider that you are free to do that, and you can continue doing that for the rest of your life. But why? Really take that in and consider what your life is like with that belief, and why would you continue to have that? So I hope by challenging you on some of these questions, and you can continue to take this as far as you want. You rewind it and go back to these questions if you need to hear somebody asking you these questions. That believing whatever you're believing and whatever behaviors you're doing were working. But you don't have to continue doing that. And by asking over and over again, hopefully it started to uncover some deeper level beliefs that you've been operating that seem really distorted. Maybe they seem a little half cracked at this point. So I hope that gives you a little bit of a new way of looking at some of the things that you've been operating under, and it gives you a new way of operating, and maybe even a new way of behaving from this point on. Maybe you can let that go and create something new. So I hope that helps you on your way to the body and the life that you so well desire and deserve. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful Wednesday.